My name is Claire Donovan, and for 32 years I poured every drop of myself into being the best mother a little girl could have. Sarah was 6 when her father died in a trucking accident on an icy road outside Tulsa. The insurance money barely covered the funeral, so I waitressed double shifts, cleaned offices at night, and still found time to braid her hair every morning before school. I was there for every fever, every heartbreak, every triumphant school play. When she left for college on the scholarship, I worked 3 jobs to help her apply for. She hugged me so hard I thought my ribs would crack and whispered, "Mom, one day I'm going to give you the world." She gave me a grandson instead, and then she took the world away. When Sarah called me crying with joy, "Mom, I'm pregnant," I felt my own heart start beating again. I was 54, exhausted, living in the same little ranch house that still smelled faintly of the menthol cigarettes her father used to smoke. But the moment she said, "Baby," everything lit up. I turned the spare bedroom into a nursery before. She was even out of the first trimester. White crib with gray elephants. Rocking chair I found at an estate sale and reupholstered myself. A mobile of tiny felt moons that took me 6 weeks to sew. I bought so many little onesies that the cashiers at Carter's started recognizing me. I told everyone, my coworkers, the neighbors, the ladies in my water aerobics class, that my daughter was making me a grandmother. I planned the baby shower like it was the social event of the decade. The park pavilion by the lake, pastel balloons, a dessert table that would have made Pinterest weep. I hand-addressed 60 invitations. Sarah's college friends, her coworkers, my cousins from Kansas City, even Great Aunt Ruth, who is 91 and half deaf but still loves cake. I rented the fancy chairs, ordered a custom cake shaped like a storybook, bought prizes for the stupid games I secretly hate but knew Sarah would love. I spent $3,400 I didn't really have, pulling it from the savings account I'd been hoarding for a new roof. 2 days before the shower, Sarah texted me while I was standing in the party store holding a carton of pink and blue plates. "Mom, change of plans. We're doing something small and private with Jason's family. You get so stressed in crowds and I didn't want to put that on you. Love you." I stared at the message so long the cashier asked if I was okay. I paid for the plates anyway. Because what was I supposed to do? Put them back like a child returning candy? That night I canceled everything. The pavilion, the cake, the DJ who was going to play lullaby versions of pop songs. I told people Sarah wasn't feeling well. I didn't sleep. I sat in the nursery and folded and refolded tiny socks until the sun came up. The following Saturday, the day the shower would have been, I made myself open Facebook, and there it was. A professional photo album titled, "Welcoming Baby Boy Miller, Intimate Family Shower." 123 photos. The country club ballroom dripping in peonies. Sarah glowing in a custom silk gown that must have cost more than my car. Jason's mother, Connie, who once told me my potato salad was a little plain, beaming in a mother-of-the-groom-style suit, her arm possessively around my daughter, a 10-foot-tall marquee sign that read, "It takes a village, and today we celebrate ours." Caption after caption thanking the real grandmother who's been there from day one. Hashtag family is everything. I wasn't in a single picture. Not one. I zoomed in until my eyes burned. Searching every background, every corner. Nothing. I was a ghost before I was even dead. I closed the laptop and walked to the nursery. I stood in the middle of that perfect room and screamed until my throat bled. Then I sat on the floor and cried the way. I hadn't cried since the night they lowered her father's casket. The calls started 4 weeks after Bennett was born. "Mom, the pediatrician only takes out of network, and the bill is $840. Can you Venmo me real quick? Mom, formula is insane right now. The special kind he needs is $68 a can. Mom, I'm overwhelmed. And Jason says if you could just help with the mortgage this month, so I can cut back my hours." Every time her name lit up my phone, I felt the knife twist again. I still sent the money, 'cause that's what mothers do, right? We protect our babies even when they grow claws. But the knife kept twisting. I saw the photos of Connie holding Bennett first in the delivery room. Sarah had tagged her Grandma of the Year. I saw the professional newborn session where Connie's manicured hand rested on my grandson's chest. I saw the Christmas card that arrived in December. Sarah, Jason, Bennett, and Connie and her husband, smiling under the words, "Our growing family." My card never came. The breaking point came in February. Bennett was 5 months old. Sarah called me at 11:07 p.m. on a Tuesday, voice thick with tears. "Mom, the car payment bounced and they're going to repossess it tomorrow. It's $612. Please, please, I'm begging you." I was standing at the kitchen sink, washing the same coffee mug for the third time. The house was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator. I looked at the little elephant decal I'd stuck on the window above the sink, something I'd bought for the nursery and never removed, and something inside me finally snapped, clean and cold. "Sarah," I said, and my voice didn't shake, not even a little. "Do you remember the baby shower?" Silence, then a confused, "What?" "The one you told me not to worry about because I get stressed in crowds. The one that turned into a gala for 120 of your mother-in-law, his closest friends, while I sat home and canceled the party. I spent 4 months planning. Do you remember that?" "Mom, this isn't the time." "No, sweetheart. It's exactly the time. Because I have been waiting for you to say you were sorry. Just once." I waited for a phone call, a text, a Facebook message. Hell, I would have taken a carrier pigeon. But instead, you let your mother-in-law call herself the real grandmother while I paid for the pediatrician she bragged about affording. I could hear her breathing hard on the other end. "I only help people who love me, Sarah," I said quietly. "And right now I'm not sure you're one of them." I hung up. She called back 17 times, left voicemails that went from tearful to furious to bargaining to threatening. Jason got on the phone and told me I was abandoning my grandson, and that blood is thicker than water. I let every call go to voicemail. 3 days later, they showed up at my door with Bennett in a stroller, like he was a bargaining chip. Sarah's eyes were red. Jason looked like he hadn't slept. And Connie, God help me, was with them, clutching a diaper bag like armor. "Claire," Sarah said, "we need to talk." I stepped out onto the porch and closed the door behind me so they couldn't come inside. "There's nothing to talk about," I said. "You made your choice. You chose who your real family is. I'm just respecting it." Connie started in with her syrupy voice. "Claire, no one is saying you're not family, but Sarah's been under so much stress." I looked her dead in the eye. "Connie, the day my daughter decides who gets to hold her son first in the delivery room, I'll listen to your opinion. Until then, get off my porch." Sarah started sobbing, the ugly kind where snot runs down your face. "Mom, please. We're drowning. I can't do this without you." I looked at my daughter, my beautiful, selfish daughter, holding my grandson like a shield, and I felt something inside me die and come back to life at the same time. "You did this without me the day you decided I didn't belong at your baby shower," I said. "You did this without me every time you let your mother-in-law post photos calling herself Bennett's Nana while I sat here alone. You can figure the rest out the same way." I went inside and locked the door. Through the peephole, I watched them stand there for 20 minutes. Sarah crying so hard she could barely breathe. Jason yelling that I would die lonely. Connie trying to comfort them both. Eventually they left. I disassembled the crib that night, took every onesie, every blanket, every tiny sock, boxed them up, and donated the whole nursery to the women's shelter downtown. The ladies there cried when I told them why. One of them hugged me and said, "Miss Claire, you just gave some other grandma the chance to be someone's everything." I changed my phone number the next week, blocked them on every platform, took the $2,200 I used to send Sarah every month and put it toward a beach condo rental in Gulf Shores for 30 days. I walked the sugar white sand every morning and thought about the little girl who used to fall asleep on my chest, thumb in her mouth, trusting that I could keep the whole world gentle for her. I still don't have pictures of Bennett. I don't know if he's crawling yet or what his laugh sounds like. Some nights that grief hits me so hard I can't breathe. But most mornings I wake up to the sound of waves. And for the first time in 32 years, the first person I take care of is me. Sarah will either learn that love isn't a checking account, or she won't. Either way, I'm done paying the bill.